Welcome to They're All People. Every conversation is a chance to give 1% more than expected.
It was early, that kind of cold, gray morning where the streetlights are still on, but the world's just starting to wake up. We were in the café getting ready for the rush. Everyone was moving fast, heads down, trying to beat the clock. And right in the middle of it was Maya, the new girl, just standing there, holding a tray, trying to figure out where she fit. Nobody told her what her lane was, so she guessed. She started helping wherever she could, grabbed the wrong orders, restocked what didn't need restocked, and in about 5 minutes, she managed to step on just about everyone's toes. I still remember her face after someone snapped at her. She looked over at me and said softly, "I was just trying to help." And that line stopped me, because I could see it. She cared, she wanted to do well. She just didn't know what well looked like. The next morning, we did something simple. Before the rush, we took 5 minutes to say who's doing what done means, and when we'll check in. That's it. And just like that, no confusion, no drama, no hurt feelings. That's when it hit me. Clarity isn't about control, it's about care. Because if it's not clear, it's not fair.
I've seen that same thing play out everywhere, not just in cafes, on job sites, in offices, hospitals, wherever people work side by side. Two good people, both trying to help, but heading in slightly different directions. Nobody's wrong, they just never said out loud what done looked like. That's when I realized clarity isn't a management thing, it's a human thing. It's how we protect each other's effort, how we keep trust from slipping through the cracks. So in this episode, we're talking about how to do that, how to make clarity part of your day, not a meeting. How to speak up early, begin with the end in mind, and make teamwork feel simple again.
Absolutely. I was digging into the research, right? Gallup says only 47% of U.S. workers feel they actually know what's expected of them. Just 47%. No wonder burnout is spiking. MIT Sloan even points out, ambiguity, especially between peers, is now the #1 cause of remote work burnout. It's not even about the workload, it's about not knowing what finish line you're running toward.
Exactly, and we're not just talking about teams stumbling. Google did this whole Project Aristotle and what beat out everything for team success. After safety, it was structure and clarity. So if you don't know what your lane is, it's chaos, and you can feel it, right? Folks get defensive, wheels start spinning. That's why start-of-day quick huddles aren't just cute, they're survival.
Absolutely, and whether it's Jim and Jane in an office or a rowing crew, everybody moves cleaner and faster when they see the finish line together. Not top-down, but as real partners. Because as much as it feels like a soft skill, clarity is respect. It's protecting each other's time and energy. And that's what sets teams apart. Not just the work, but how you decide what done actually is together.
Okay, so let's get into the nuts and bolts. The thing that bailed out my crew before a big client walkthrough was what you've been calling the expectation agreement. 4 lines, nothing fancy, but man, it cuts through so much confusion. Can I try to lay it out and you keep me honest?
Absolutely.
First, what's the outcome? So, by Friday 2 p.m., we'll have X done so Y can happen. Second, who owns what? Third, what does done really look like? Bullet points, no mystery. And last, rhythm. When are we checking in Thursday at 9? Did I get that right?
Nailed it. That's the backbone right there. No job titles, no forms, just 2 humans making things clear. And it's got research legs. Harvard Business Review looked at projects where peers were aligned on roles, not just job descriptions, and those teams finished things 31% faster. That's not small. That makes the difference between fire drills and flow.
What I love is how this works anywhere. In a busy kitchen, the cook and server agree on what ready means. Designer and sales rep, sync up, lock the goal. Wednesday, mock up and quote. Tech and analyst, I'll own the fix, you own testing. On my crews, we split up sections. No overlap, no resentment. Like you said in the opening, if it's not clear, it's not fair.
Exactly. And when you break it down, it's really just following what Stephen Covey laid out. Begin with the end in mind. Or John Doerr with OKRs, or Kim Scott's idea that clarity is a form of kindness. It lets you care personally while challenging directly. When you practice that with a peer, it protects your relationship and speeds things up without adding friction. 1 page, 1 plan.
And the real test? It's not about being perfect every time. Sometimes you do have to reset. I've had those awkward moments where 2 people step on each other's toes. My new move is just to say, hey, can we re-clarify who's leading what? Just want to make sure I'm actually helping. 10 minutes tops. Changes the whole vibe.
That's a skill, right? Making clarity a habit so it's just part of your rhythm, like checking your mirrors before you pull out. There are all these tiny moves, like say the finish line aloud and clarify ownership up front. Even that quick end of day, who's got next? It sounds simple, but when you do it, you stop the guessing and the overlap before it starts.
Totally. And Imani, I gotta say, even the best teams have to reset. Like that Olympic rowing study, they agree on every lane before they ever get in the boat. Assignment discipline, communication under pressure, the stuff coaches say about talk early, not after a miss. It's what separates just being talented from actually being coachable, right?
And you see it everywhere. The teams that check in, reset with kindness when it gets muddy, those are the ones who build real trust. I actually love role-playing these resets. Like imagine you and I both started working on the same project part. What if I just opened with, I think we both jumped in on the same task. Let's clarify who's leading which part so we don't step on each other. That's not blame, that's protecting momentum and respect.
And that's how you know it's working. When folks feel safe flagging confusion early, not waiting till damage is done. You'll see projects moving faster, less rework, more people actually wanting to partner up on stuff. It's not rocket science, just process is kindness made visible. So, where do you want folks listening to start?
I'd say take 5 minutes this week. Draft one 4-line peer-to-peer expectation agreement. Doesn't have to be fancy. Outcome, owner, done, rhythm. Review it with your peer or team. And if it feels awkward at first, that's where the muscle grows. Repeat, reset, and watch how much smoother things run. The people who practice this, they're the ones everyone trusts, the ones people want on the next project. Jake, you got any last words?
Yeah, just remember, clarity isn't about making you more rigid. It's about making you safer, faster, and with less drama. Say what done looks like early and often. Listen for it. That's how you build teams that win together, not just grind together.
Perfect. We'll end on that. Bye, everyone. Keep it kind, keep it clear, win together.
You've been listening to They're All People. Don't wait for culture to change. Start it with your next conversation.